People who take melatonin for sleep. New research presented at an American Heart Association meeting showed long-term use of melatonin supplements is associated with a higher risk of heart failure and death.
In keeping an eye on your health, a warning for people who take melatonin for sleep.
If you're having trouble falling asleep at night, you might want to think twice before grabbing this popular sleep aid.
And this is why a new study now shows chronic use of melatonin may lead to heart failure.
Hey, welcome back. Well, a popular supplement used to help you sleep is coming under fire this morning after a recent study suggests melatonin could actually increase the risk for heart failure.
A viral headline suggests that using melatonin could affect your heart health.
Day for the millions of Americans who take melatonin to help them sleep. A new study says long-term use could be linked to serious heart problems. It found that adults who have insomnia and have been using melatonin for a year or more have a 90% higher chance of heart failure. They are also almost 3.5 times more likely to visit a hospital for heart failure. Now, this is a shocking finding about a supplement that many people think of as completely safe, and some health specialists will often prescribe to their patients.
A health alert on melatonin in your heart. Chief medical correspondent Dr. Tara Narula is here with a reality check, and she's going to break down this headline. Doc, please tell us about this headline.
Yeah.
That's been a topic of conversation.
It
Big
has.
topic.
You may have woken up and seen it all over the news, on the internet, and I'm really glad we're talking about this because this is something that really does bother me a little bit as a physician and a journalist. And I think we need to explain what an abstract is. So this study that people have seen floating around is an abstract that's going to be presented at the American Heart Association meeting next week that says that melatonin may be linked to heart.
A new warning about a popular sleep aid. A team of researchers says long-term use of melatonin may be linked to a higher risk of heart failure. They studied tens of thousands of medical records and found people with chronic insomnia who took melatonin had a 90% higher risk of heart failure.
New research shows taking melatonin for long periods of time could be a sign of underlying heart issues. Data released by the American Heart Association found that long-term use of the popular sleep aid is actually linked to a higher risk of heart failure and early death in adults with insomnia.
All right, welcome back. Some bombshell health news this week as researchers have apparently found an association between the popular sleep supplement melatonin and negative health effects involving the heart.
Welcome back, everybody, on a Friday morning. How did you sleep last night? You know, earlier this week, we told you about a study that found that people who use melatonin long-term may face a higher risk of heart failure. So this morning, we're taking a deeper dive into what this means for you because so many people take melatonin. So Dr. Kash Himatpour with UT Health Houston is joining us live this morning. Good morning, doctor. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. Thank you very much.
Did you sleep well?
I slept well. Thank you.
So many people I know have started taking melatonin, especially recently. I know a lot of people who might give it to their children. How worried should we be about this study?
Well, the findings of this study are preliminary. Let me explain. Melatonin is a hormone produced by our brain. So the levels rise when it gets dark, signaling our body to go to sleep. The researchers at SUNY University looked at electronic health records within a large international database called TriNetX. And they reviewed 5 years worth of data in people with primary diagnosis of chronic insomnia. They found that the rate of heart failure increases by 90%. 90%. So
New research presented at an American Heart Association meeting showed that long-term use of melatonin supplements is associated with a higher risk of heart failure and death. People taking melatonin for at least a year had more than triple the risk of heart failure, casting doubt on the safety of, or the long-term safety, I should say, of the popular supplement.
So according to the American Heart Association, using the popular sleep aid for more than a year was linked to a higher risk of heart failure and in some cases even death in adults.
Now, health officials warn that this doesn't mean melatonin directly causes heart failure, but rather using the sleep aid often could be a sign of pre-existing heart health issues.
And so researchers looked at over 130,000 adults over 5 years and found those who regularly took melatonin were twice as likely to develop heart failure compared to those who did not.
So an unpublished study, it's going to be presented today at the American Heart Association Scientific Conference in New Orleans. The research links melatonin to a 90% increase in heart problems. But
people taking melatonin for at least a year had more than triple the risk of heart failure, casting doubt on the long-term safety of the popular supplements. More cases.
Today's Health Alert, new research raises concerns about a popular sleep aid that many people think is safe and natural. We're talking about melatonin and whether it should last you long term or if it could affect your heart.
This was a big study, more than 130,000 people in it, mostly in their mid-50s, and people who took melatonin for more than a year consistently were twice as likely to develop heart failure, and more than 3 times as likely to be hospitalized for the condition compared with people who did not take melatonin on a consistent basis. Important caveat here, the actual rates were relatively low, 4.6 of people in the melatonin group versus 2.7% developed heart failure, and 19% of people who were in the melatonin group had to be hospitalized with heart failure, compared with 6.6% of people who did not take it.